The NATO summit in Washington, D.C. confirmed the alliance's full support for Ukraine, which is fighting the Russian invasion. Russia remains the greatest and immediate threat to Allied security.
And we're working with our NATO allies to ensure Ukraine is flying F-16s this summer. And we show the world that we stand with Ukraine now and in the future.
It is worth remembering that after the Russian aggression against Ukraine, it was Poland that was the first to support the country and speak about the need to stop Russia. When Vladimir Putin started the aggression against Ukraine, he assumed a division or even a conflict within NATO. Something like that did not happen. This aid is flowing and will continue to flow, and it is a direct realization of our national interest. NATO heads of state have agreed that a training center for Ukrainian soldiers is to be established in Bydgoszcz. This will be the implementation of the Ukrainian army into NATO procedures, bringing it closer to the military structures of the North Atlantic Alliance. And on the other hand, it will be the sharing of war experience by Ukrainian experts or Ukrainian military officers. The growing Pacific competition with China was also an important theme of the Washington summit. At the summit, we asked about joint Belarusian Chinese military exercises taking place in Belarus.
The Chinese exercise together with the Belarusian forces in Belarus is part of a pattern. It just confirms how authoritarian regimes are aligning more and more, and also how China is coming closer to NATO in Europe, in Africa, in the Arctic, and elsewhere. So this fits into the pattern we have seen, also with a closer alignment between China and Russia.
In addition, NATO's eastern flank is to be strengthened, including the responsiveness of the PAC's forces with the collective defense of alliance members and the previously developed NATO regional defense plans implemented. On defense spending, despite the stipulations of previous summits, not all members spent 2% of GDP on defense.
This alliance is stronger than ever. 23 members are now spending 2% of their GDP on defence. But in light of the grave threats to our security, we must go further.
So far, Poland spends more than 4% of GDP on defense. The question is for how long, because as we revealed, the new government planned cuts of more than 57 billion zloty between 2025 and 2028. I am a little surprised that Mr. Tusk did not support Polish President Duda and did not say that the 3% should be the benchmark. It was reported in Washington that the U.S. installation in Redzikowo is already operational and has entered the NATO anti-aircraft and anti-missile system. Its construction in Poland was started when Antoni Macierewicz was a defense minister. We managed to overturn the decision of Mr. Donald Tusk, who blocked Redzikowo, and since 2016 we have rebuilt this system. It actually gives us and all of Europe security guarantees against a nuclear attack from the Russian Federation. Because, as President Andrzej Duda said 8 years ago at the NATO summit in Warsaw, we must jointly bring anyone who even for a moment faces the temptation to apply the law of force to understand instantly that it is simply not profitable. Because it was in Warsaw, 2 years after the end of the reset from the first Tusk government with Russia, that decisions were made to deploy NATO forces on the eastern flank of the pact, in Poland and the Baltic states. Radosław Jankiewicz, TV Republika.